What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Oh my goodness. I cannot stand this question. You always come in with some random question because that's like asking what came first, the baby or the adult. Think about it. What came first, the baby or the adult?
What came first, the chicken or the egg? And this is, I like, when I
Why?
first, so before I actually looked up the answer or whatever, right? I don't know, I was like, the chicken had to come first because of the egg. You know
But
what I
the
mean?
chicken was once an egg. So how did the chicken come first? Because it had to come from something, which was an egg, right?
Yeah. So what came first, the chicken or the
There's
egg?
no answer to that. I mean, you have to ask God or whoever created the chicken, like the animals. I'm not God. Okay?
If you,
Wait, so you looked it up and there's an actual answer?
it's a scientific answer, but you know, it can be argued, but
All right, so what's the answer?
what came first? I'm asking. All right, if you had to guess, which one would you think? And explain your logic.
I just did explain my logic. I'm not God. I don't know what came first. That's my logic. All right, but I'm gonna give you an answer because that's what you want to hear. The egg came first.
Okay. Scientifically, you are correct.
Okay.
The egg, so basically what it said scientifically was that since everything evolved, you know, everything was once something. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The egg is just a bunch of female cells or whatever. It came from a female creature.
Okay.
The chicken's only been around for 10,000 years.
So there was just a bunch of eggs everywhere.
I mean,
Egg.
no. So it basically said like the chicken evolved from something else. Like it said basically. Do you remember how they say like we were apes at one time and now we
Okay.
evolved to human? It
Okay.
basically said like the chicken
Oh,
started
some kind of
something else.
dinosaur or something.
Yeah, and it turned to a chicken.
So technically the egg.
So technically the egg was first. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's a valid answer. I'll take that.
When I read that, I was like, okay,
Okay,
whatever.
exactly. Yeah. All right.
I'll allow it.
Sure.
What's going on, family? Welcome to the 81 West podcast, where we talk about anything and everything, but absolutely nothing at the same time. If you're into a good chat or a steamy, what?
Debate.
Yeah, that was right. If you're into a good chat or a steamy hot debate, come kick it with us. I'm your host, Culture. And then to my left,
Tanisha Marie on the scene and the place to be. You know what I mean?
yeah, the hottest MC.
Ooh.
You looking real nice in your 81 West gear.
You see this one?
Yeah, you looking nice, dude.
And guess what? They exclusive for now, but I'm sure you guys can cop them soon, right?
Pretty soon. Actually, if you would like a chance to win some free merch, some free 81 West gear, all you got to do is share this video, episode 8.
Can I share it and win one?
You already got one.
What if I want another one?
You shared this video with 3 people. Screenshot us proof that you sent it to 3 people, and you can get free merch of your own.
Yes.
And it's going down like that.
And
like,
these fit really nice too.
and it's a real nice
real
material.
nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's actually it's 100% pre-shrunk cotton.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's why it feels. It's like breathable. I ain't gonna
It's
have to
good. It's good
air
linen
my
right
piss
here.
or nothing.
How you been, T?
Been all right. Going through life, you know. Got a couple shows coming up. I'm excited for that, you know, get my career rolling. Definitely dodging these obstacles that keep coming at me, which is life. You know.
Yeah.
Trusting the process of life.
I like that. I
How
like
about you?
that.
What you been up to?
Work been kicking my ass.
I ain't wanna say all that, but
Work
yes.
been beating the shit out of me. Like, girl, when I tell you, like, working overtime, it just like so. I was so excited to get into like management and shit, but I'm salary now. Even like I make good money, salary, but
You don't get paid for the amount of hours you do.
yeah, anything over 8 hours, I'm not getting paid for. So there's nights where I'm working 12, 13
You
hours.
should have known. UPS was trying to get you to be salary, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't salary. I was every minute I was at UPS was accounted for. So being salary, I thought that like okay, like it'll like the amount that I make, I was making at UPS.
You was making more.
I was making the same amount at UPS, but I was working crazy hours, like crazy hours. Now don't get me wrong. Here I have the option to leave, but you know how it is. Like you want to be
You in management, of course.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
represent.
it's just like, damn, like, I don't like that shit. At the 8 hours I get paid, this shit feel like slavery. That shit is over
Better than
with.
me, because I'd be like, it's 9:59.
I catch you niggas on the flip. One thing that really intrigues me about you is just your ability to motivate people, and you know, your ability to share your experiences, and that really like shines light on other people, which is why, like we said last week, we came up with this new this motivational segment. And this week we're going to be talking about having faith and trusting the process.
Ooh.
So let me ask you,
Essentials to life.
what does trust the process mean to you?
You know, when you first sent that to me, I was sitting and thinking about the process, and I went into like this whole rabbit hole of bunch of different questions, like what is the process and why do we have to trust it? Like, think about it. When you say trust the process, what process are you talking about, you know? And for me, I feel like the process, I don't know if it's because I look at the bigger picture, but it always seems like the process takes so long. Like, there's no end, there's an end in sight, but it's so far away. Like, for example, the music thing. I've been doing music for years, and like the process has been going on for years, and I can still see it happening for years to come, you know? So it just seems so long, and, you know, it seems like the end is so far. But then I also learned that you have to trust the process, you know, but you also have to put in the work during the process.
Absolutely.
And also enjoy the process. That's what's going to make the process not seem so long. Because if you have this end goal in sight and you're just so focused on it and it's not happening, it's going to seem long. You're going to seem like you're fighting against something. But if you just sit and enjoy it and just take in your surroundings, you know, there's really no point of having an end goal if you're not enjoying getting there.
Right.
You know, a lot of us,
Yeah,
we struggle to meet deadlines or meet these goals, or we have this big image of who we want to be and how much money we want to have and how comfortable we want to be. That's great. But what about where you are now? You know, I think that's where having faith comes in. Well, we can talk about that after, because faith is a whole different thing. But what about you? What does your process look like, and what does that mean to you, trusting the process?
I was actually gonna say the end of you said. I was actually gonna say the opposite of it. I think that faith is the process. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing, because everybody's journey and everybody's process is different. I think that without faith there is no process. Like me, like I never gave up with music, no matter if people didn't like it, no matter if I was the only one that liked it or my mom was the only one that liked it. I always knew that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I always knew, like, in my mind, I'm the hottest fucking rapper ever to ever, you know what I'm saying, pick up a mic. To ever pick up a mic. And, you know, I hope everybody feels like that. But just the faith, and like when life knocks you down, because you're going to take L's, you're going to be told no. Some people aren't going to like your music. You know what I'm saying? Just having faith that, okay, this is happening now, but I know for a fact I'm going to be where I want to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be an established artist. I'm going to be famous if that's what you want. I'm going to be rich if that's what you want.
Right.
Because I know my abilities. The process is just, you know, the journey to getting there. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
without faith, like, there is no process. You know what I'm saying?
I have to agree with that. I really do, just because faith is such an important aspect in my life. I'm not really a huge Bible person, but, you know, I have a religious background. But there's a quote that always stuck out to me, and it said, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. To break that down, faith is the substance of things hoped for. We all have hopes, you know. I feel like faith and hope go hand in hand, because when you have faith, that means you're hoping for something. And the substance of the evidence of things not seen. So you don't see it yet. You don't know. You can't see your end goal. But because you have faith, you know, it's there already. You know, you're working towards it. And I think faith goes with manifesting as well. I've learned about manifesting over the years, you know, when the whole law of attraction thing started coming around. It really works. You know, the more faith you have, the easier it is to get what you want, because you're directing your entire thought process. You're directing your entire energy and your entire life to get this, you know, on top of being enthusiastic about something. It's just bringing it to you closer. You know, everything is vibrational. And when you put out that good energy and you hope for something and have faith that it's going to happen, it already happened, you know, because you're creating it. You just have to wait for it to come to you, you know? So I think it's really hard to have faith sometimes, especially, you know, when you are trying to do something and it's just not working, or you're meeting a whole bunch of different obstacles. But to be honest, what I learned is that faith is what's going to get you through it. Okay, I might not see it. I might be getting hit left and right with these things, but it's going to happen because I have faith and I believe it, you know.
Right.
It's very powerful. It's not tangible. You can't feel it, or you can't, it's not money, or, you know, like, it's not tangible, but it's faith, you know. It's powerful. It's going to move you in the right direction, you know.
What's something that you've had faith in that, like, the complete, like, all of the odds were stacked against this goal or this idea that you have, or this, you know, whatever it is? What's something that you absolutely had faith in and would not, like, let go of by any means?
That's a hard one. You go first while I think about it.
I say for me, and I always I actually, like, for a long time, like I said, I was atheist. I always questioned God. Like I was like atheist. I was like 10 when I was like, you know, God ain't real, you know what I'm saying? And then I got older and things started to happen where I'm like, okay, this isn't natural, you know what I'm saying? So then I became like more agnostic than atheist. Like, I know there's something there.
You just don't know what.
I just don't know what. Now, when I learned faith, to be honest, like, this sounds crazy, and I talk about this all the time, which is why I put my trust in God as well, because, and not to compare Alyssa to God, but my relationship.
I was thinking about that.
From the day I met Alyssa, I knew we were supposed to be together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew she was designed for me and vice versa. No matter what happened in our relationship, you know what I'm saying? No, real talk. Like, no matter what happened in our relationship, I always just knew, like, it was gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew we, like, eventually would, like, we had very hard times, but I knew eventually, like, things would pan out. And I had blind faith in her and in our relationship. And then I kind of, like, I had to sit back and think about it. Like, damn, like, she's mortal. Like, you know, she's just a being. Like, why is it so hard for me to accept the fact that God is real, or that God is who he is, when I met this woman, or this girl at the time this girl at the time, because at the time we were really young, she was 17. I met this girl, and I'm going through, because I always thought, like, oh, I'm going, like, my biggest thing when I was younger, I was go through everything. I'm like, man, God put me through all this shit, and I'm only, like, this much old. That nigga must not be real. Fuck him.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? And then for me to listen, and then we go through what we go through it. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like, we can work it out. We can, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of, like, made me be like, damn, like, that's foolish. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of what showed me what faith is my relationship.
That's beautiful. And you know what I learned? That, you know, our relationships are reflections of who we are. They're part of us, you know. So I feel like that is a gift from God, because even if it's not the ideal relationship, or the relationship that everybody, you know, sees on TV or whatever, it's still someone is brought into your life to teach you something about yourself, you know. And then when you can make it work, that's a whole nother aspect. It's almost like selfless, you know, learning how to be selfless, because you might go through these problems, and you might, you know, not always be on the same page, but you're selfless enough to keep working at it. No matter if it hurts, I'm going to keep working at it. You know, that I feel like that selflessness is right up there with God, you know, because that's the essence of God. It's just pure unconditional love. You love her without conditions. No matter what happens, I still love you, you know, and that's beautiful, and it's rare. I feel like a lot of people, we can get into relationships later, but I feel like a lot of people don't try hard enough to make it work, you know, myself included in the past. But I would say, this is kind of weird, but I would say for me, something that really showed me my faith was just the desire to be happy. Like, there's a lot of things that happened in my life that kind of took away my happiness. But in the back of my mind, I've always wanted to get back that happiness, you know, just that happiness that stays. And I feel like every time something would happen in my life that I would get really upset about, you know, I get depressed about, get anxious about, I've always had that faith, and that faith is what brought me back to being happy, because I remember what it felt like to just be at this blissful state where everything was going right, you know, and just meeting all the right people. And I remember that. So every time I get into that bad mind state, I just, that faith pulls me back. Like, I remember what it feels like to be happy, and I'm gonna get there again, you know. So that's lit.
That you actually got more because, like, when I get depressed, I'm just fucking depressed. Like, all right, fuck
It's
it.
hard. Trust me. It's
I ain't happiness don't live here no more. Fuck it.
hard. It's
So-
hard, but if you can, whenever that happens, if you can remember a moment in your life where you were just at your all-time high, like just the happiest, and you're not gonna pull yourself out. Depression is no joke. You're not gonna pull yourself out like that. But if you can keep that in the back of your head, like, damn, I remember when I was happy, and just have faith that you can get there again. You will. You know, I started practicing Buddhism a while ago. I want to get back into it because it was like the most amazing experience of my life. And one of their three structures of Buddhism is faith, practice, and study. And like in Buddhism, you can't have one without the other. So faith comes first because, you know, we don't know much about Buddhism in the beginning. But if you have faith in it and just are willing to test it out, you know, and then practice comes in. Even if you apply that outside of Buddhism, let's apply it to music. So if you have faith, you know, in your music or in your career, next comes practice. You can't have faith, just faith alone. You have to put some work in. You have to practice, you know, and in study, you really have to master your craft, study every angle of it, you know, and those are supposedly the 3 keys to happiness. And it works because a lot of times the reason I'm not happy is because I don't feel like I'm doing my best or I'm not reaching my potential. But if I have faith in myself, if I practice hard enough and if I study hard enough, all those, it's going to go away, you know, all those doubts are going to go away. So definitely, I love this subject. We could go on and 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 on.
Let me ask you, can we speed up the process or can we slow down the process? And if so, how?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can definitely speed up the process by being more intentional, I think. So, a lot of times we get distracted, me, myself included. I get distracted or I get unmotivated, you know, but it depends on how bad you want what you're going for. You know, I feel like, and to slow it down, would you want to slow down the process though? That's a question for you. Because I feel like you don't always have to rush things. Sometimes you need to slow down the process. Sometimes you need to take a break and think and taking your surroundings, you know?
When I think of slowing down the process, I always think about how old heads specifically always want to put you and your journey to whatever you're doing on their timeline. And it's like, you supposed to do this, do this, do this, do this. You supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't made it by the time you're 26, quit. You know what I'm saying? And so you're trying to rush to meet these deadlines that somebody else put for you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like those are times where you like slow down the process and catch up and catch up to yourself and, you know, get to your own pace. Because I remember even me, like, when I started rapping when I was like 17, like 16, 17, by the time I hit like 20, I was like, all right, I got to put out 25 mixtapes now. I got to get 1 million people to hear this. I got to do this. I got to do that. Because by the time I turn 25, I'm 5 years away from 25. I turn 25, I'm supposed to just quit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, no, like, I got to slow down, take a step back, analyze the game, analyze what I'm doing, network, get to know other people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not always about putting out a single a week or putting out an album a month, or you know what I'm saying? Right. Like sometimes you gotta slow down, take a step back, and evaluate things. Like people, that there's so much importance to just taking a step back. And even if you don't release any music, just take that step back, analyze the game, analyze your competitors. Because even though you're my friend, my best friend, and we both rap, but at the end of the day, like to a certain sense, we're competitors. If that makes sense.
I mean, well, it doesn't make sense.
We're on the same team, but we got the same goal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not saying we're.
I understand where you're coming from.
Not saying we're competitors, but it's like if I step back and analyze what you're doing, I might notice something that you're doing good at that I'm lacking at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That makes sense.
And I can feed off of that, and vice versa.
Makes a lot of sense. It more so like I think competition as far as keeping up with each other.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like competition.
I gotta be better than her. I knew that's not what
I'm
you meant.
gonna sign a deal first.
I know that's not what you meant. It's almost like I take it as, you know, you just have to be on aware at all times. You know, you have to be on your game at all times because there's so many things that are changing, you know. So in the end, maybe you have to slow down the process to speed up the process sometimes, if that makes sense. Take a step back. I agree with you, you know, and a lot of times, especially as musicians, we feel so much pressure, you know, because music in a way is time sensitive. Things change so fast. People's attention spans, you know, the radio, everything just moves so quickly. So we feel like we have to keep up, but we're making timeless music. You know, look at all the old hits. Look at Erykah Badu and Lauryn Hill and all of them. Their music is timeless, you know. So I feel like us who actually talk about things with substance and not just a bop or a radio hit, we have the time. We can take that time. We need to, because our music is inspirational, you know, and it's circumstantial. It's based off of what we go through. So we can't rush things, you know. I don't... Right. If you want to speed up the process, if you feel like you need to speed up the process, yes, go for it. Sometimes I feel like I'm procrastinating because I don't feel like I'm good enough as far as my music. So I definitely need to speed up the process at those times, but I just don't feel like we should have to rush anything. You know, life is here for us to enjoy. You know, yes, we have goals, but at the end of the day, we're just here to enjoy life. So don't speed it up too quickly, you know. Yeah, you're never going to get that time back.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was our motivational segment.
I hope you felt motivated.
I hope you felt motivated.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Faith is everything.
Just have faith. Even you gotta have faith.
Even if you don't know where it's coming from, what's happening, faith, blind faith. Just trust it. Trust me. Trust it.
Especially like when it comes to the music, and I don't want to get too into this because our audio podcast next week is actually specifically geared towards advice for artists. So I don't want to get too in depth into it. But as an artist or an entrepreneur, or, you know, whatever you want to do, there's going to be hardships. You're going to be told no. Everybody's not going to like what you're selling. Whether it's music, t-shirts, socks, drawers, like everybody's not going to like what you're selling. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you to believe in yourself enough to keep pushing and break those barriers. You know what I'm saying?
And perfect your craft. That's one thing I learned about. If you're good at what you do, it does not matter. Because somebody's going to feel it. Somebody's going to want to buy it, you know. Just perfect your craft. That's all. We'll talk about more of that later. Y'all ain't getting all the secrets.
Absolutely facts. Y'all try to get all the tea. Y'all try to get all the tea. That was our motivational segment. And, you know, hopefully something we said stuck with you. You know, trust the process. Have faith. You know what I'm saying, live life, laugh. I feel like one of them corny ass joints you get from Family Dollar. You know, the little plaques you put on the wall.
Put one of them on here.
Trust the process. But, so let's get into our segment, Throwback Thursday.
Ooh, I get to sit back and relax and story time.
Now, Throwback Thursday has easily become my favorite, and it's become a fan favorite, which I appreciate because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really...
Yeah, that means you guys are intelligent. To sit and listen to a story and digest it, we got some smart listeners.
And I got something special coming for those of you who have requested single stories. I got something special. We're going...
Single stories?
Yeah, like how I do the stories for Throwback Thursday. There are people that just want stories.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, that motherfucker was tooting my horn. It was like, yo, you're a really good storyteller. I like the way you put it together. I was like, okay.
That's a whole different thing. Oh, so some of y'all be skipping straight to the story time, huh?
Boosting my little head up.
Okay.
Oh, y'all like
That's okay. All right, so come on, what you got?
All right, so I got you. This Throwback Thursday happens in 2006. Heather Kwan was a 21-year-old college student living in Desert Hills, Arizona. Ever since she was young, she was always drawn towards like misfits and people who were in need of friendship. So she lived in a rental home. She's 21. She lived with her boyfriend Ryan Waller, who was 18 years old. That year, the couple had made plans to visit Ryan's father, Don, on Christmas, but the date of Christmas when they were supposed to be there, they didn't show up. So Don, like at first he kind of was like, you know, like, all right, you know, it's a little weird, but whatever. He's just waiting for him, like, you know, maybe they, you know, got a little busy. They'll be here in a little bit. But when they ended up not showing up, he calls the police of Desert Hills, Arizona, and he says, I need you to check on my son and his girlfriend. They were supposed to come here. I haven't heard from them, blah, blah, blah. The cops go out and they knock on the door, and Ryan opens the door, and he's got this crazy black eye, like when I tell you that shit, he had a shiner. That joint was, first of all, it was swollen up to here. It was, his eye was so swollen, his nose was swollen.
Oh my God.
It was bad. It was bad. So the cop knocked on the door. He like, what happened to your face? And Ryan's like, I don't know. And
That's the best.
so the cop just like looking at him and shit. So he's like, well, where's your girlfriend Heather? And he was like, she's on the couch sleep. So the cop was like, you mind if I, come in and check? Because Ryan's acting really weird. Like he's acting real like confused, like real standoffish, like real like just real weird. So the cop was like, you mind if I, go check on her? So the cop, he lets him in reluctantly, but he lets him in. The cop goes and he goes into the living room and he looks at Heather and she's dead on the couch. Yeah, she's dead on the couch.
Out cold, turn blue, dead.
Yeah, and he's just saying she's asleep. Like, no, she's asleep. And the cops is like, oh, she's dead. So they bring Ryan into the interrogation,
Custody, yeah.
Take him to custody, bring him to the interrogation room. So here's where the thick of this story happens, right? So in the interrogation room, when they first walk, they walk him in there. He's just looking real confused, like almost as if he was like high or drunk or something. Real like confused or whatever. Like he's just like
disoriented.
Yeah, disoriented, like touching shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's a single desk with a handcuff on it. They walked him in there. They didn't handcuff him. They walked out. There was a single desk with a handcuff on it, the chair. You know how the interrogation rooms. And he like handcuffs himself to the desk. And they're watching him on the camera or whatever. And they're just like what the fuck is going on with this guy? So he like puts his feet on. He putting his feet on the desk, like laid back. And then he just sits and he starts like for like 5 minutes. He just stares into like nothing, just staring. And then he like puts his feet on a chair and like sits like this for a while and like rocking back and forth. He was just being real weird. So the detective comes in to question him. So he like, hi, my name is Detective such and such. Can you tell me your name? And he was like, yeah, Ryan. And he said it like as if he didn't know his name. So
Ryan.
Yeah, the detective was like, do you know what today is? And he was like, I don't know what's today type shit, right? He was like, I want to ask you. So he was asking him questions to see like his mental state, to see if he was like intoxicated or anything. So he said, what's your highest grade completed? And then Ryan was like, a B. And then the detective was like, no, like what's your highest level of school you completed? And he was like,
Lord.
I don't know, 8th grade. And he was getting like real frustrated.
He was just saying random.
The detective knew like he lied, but it was such a small lie. He just was like, fuck it. So he asked him another question. Ryan ends up lying again, but he's getting frustrated. Like, so at this point, he's just blurting out answers. But these are like small lies. So the detective, he's just like, he's only asking him this to kind of get like his mind state or whatever. The detective ends up just coming out and saying, so do you know who Heather is? And he was like, yeah, she's my friend. And he was like, do you know her last name? And he was like, yeah, Heather Kean. And the detective was like, you know her last name. She's your girlfriend. And he's like, Heather Kean? Her name is Heather Kwan. And so the detective was like, and he was like, so when's the last time you seen Heather? He was like, she's at my house sleep. Or whatever. So the detective was like, Heather's dead. And Ryan, like, his face was so confused, like, as if he really actually believed that she was asleep. Like, he was really, like, flustered and confused. So the detective, he was like, just asking him questions or whatever. But he got frustrated to the point where he was just like, all right, listen, you killed her, blah, blah, blah. And Ryan was like, really, like, fucked up by this. Like, he's like, not, like, almost like he just can't believe that she's dead. So the detective was like, getting frustrated, like, yo, you killed her, just tell me what happened, blah, blah, blah. So he was like, tell me everything that you can remember. So Ryan was like, Richie and his dad came over and they had a bow and arrow and they shot Heather. And so the detective was like, Richie, and these are the neighbors. Richie actually stayed with them at one point, but Heather kicked him out because he was trying to like talk to her, like make a pass at her, so he got kicked out or whatever. The detective was like, he was like, yeah, he shot us with a bow and arrow. It was a revolver. And the detective was like, what? like, what are you talking about? A bow and arrow. He was like, was it a bow and arrow or a revolver? And Ryan was like, I don't know. Maybe it was a revolver. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say. So he was like, it was a revolver, and they shot me first, and then he shot Heather. He was like, so you mean to tell me that they shot you first, and then they shot Heather? He was like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I just want to go home. I want to go home. So his speech like starts getting real slurred, and he starts talking like a baby. Like, I want to go home. I want to go home.
I want my mommy.
Yeah, like that's exactly how he was talking. So the detective, like, he just sits back, right, and he just like looks at him for a second, and he's looking at his eye, and then he says, "Come here." And he grabs his head like this, and Ryan's like, "No, my head hurts, my head hurts." And the detective looks, and the detective starts looking at his face, and then he realized that Ryan had been shot, and he had actually been shot in the face 4 times. He had a bullet hole. His eye was so black that there was a bullet hole going through here, that the bullet was lodged in his brain. Another bullet went through his nose. Like, he had a hole in his nose from this side to this side. His skull was in his head. Like, in his pieces of his skull was lodged into his brain. Like, this is like him when the detective like made this discovery. Like, he went and got
Doctor.
the other people, like the other detectives and shit, and he was like, yo, like I fucked up. Like, I got this all wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is actually a victim. Like, he was actually shot in the face. And they were hounding him for like a few hours. I want to say like 3 hours. This was like a 3-hour interrogation. And it turned out that he had really been shot in his face 4 times. Yeah, the detectives, they fucking suck. But that's crazy, right?
I have so many. Go ahead, continue.
So it turns out that the guy Richie, the neighbor Richie, and his dad really did break in. And they shot Ryan. And then, well, they tried to kick the door in, but Ryan went and was holding the door so they can't get in. Then Richie sticks his arm through the door, shoots Ryan in his face, and then shoots him again while he's on the ground. They walk over his body, go up to Heather, shoot her right there on the couch. Now, Ryan, obviously was unconscious. He woke up 6 or 7 hours later, and him, because he had got shot in the fucking head, he didn't know what was going on. His head was just hurting and shit. His head was just hurting and shit. And when he saw Heather, he genuinely thought she was asleep. And he kept saying in the interrogation, like, I just let her sleep. I just wanted to let her sleep because she was tired, so I let her sleep. So it turns out that once they finally got him to the hospital, he had one bullet, 2 bullets in his head. Pieces of his skull was lodged into his brain, and he had an entry and exit wound in his nose from a bullet. He ended up having to get both of his eyes taken out. Yeah, he had to move back with his parents, obviously because he was completely brain dead. There was they had to take out a quarter of his brain had to get taken out, and his parents didn't even sue. They were like, we just want our son home. So we just want what's best for our son.
I would have got my son home with some money.
That shit was fucking crazy, yo.
That's not a true story. That's a true story?
It's a true story.
It can't be a true story.
It's a true story.
What? First of all, okay, I have so many questions because I'm mad. How are you a detective? And you interrogate somebody for 3 hours and you don't notice bullet wounds in his face, in his nose. How are you a detective? 3 hours of interrogation. That doesn't make any sense. I would have sued.
This is him.
And
this was him when he went into police custody. This was him in the interrogation. You see how his eyes black like that? Yeah. He literally, they literally just couldn't tell. They couldn't see the entry and exit wound. Oh, well, this is actually the video.
Go back to that picture. Oh, I want to see the video too.
Yeah, this is the video of the interrogation. This shit's an hour long.
Yeah, they would have got sued. They would have lost their jobs. That's ridiculous.
He handcuffs himself to the chair. That's an exit wound right there in his nose.
And you can see it from the screen. That's what I was gonna say. Go back to the picture because you can see the bullet wound in his nose.
And he just acting so crazy, so strange.
You could tell he has brain damage.
And he starts talking
probably
like
in a lot of pain too.
Yeah, it was crazy. I watched this whole thing.
God.
And watching, I just was like, damn,
That's so upsetting.
But like, once I saw like the, you know what I'm saying, I was like, oh, that's so crazy.
Look, you can see the bullet wound from here, and it's not even a side angle.
That shit in and out. Crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I really want to know what. So nothing happened to that detective and the detectives that were on that case.
Nah, his parents didn't press charges.
Oh my God.
That's crazy, right? I honestly, like, I couldn't believe it was a true story. I'm like, yo, how did somebody get shot in the head 4 times and then live?
The bullet is still in your brain.
And so, pieces of his skull are in his brain, too.
Is he still alive now? Like, have you followed up to see what his life is like now? So they didn't replace his eyes. Like, he's blind.
Yeah, he's blind. He got, like, half a brain. He's staying with his parents.
Yeah, I would have sued the fuck out of them.
They were like, no, we just want our son back. We just want our son home. Blah, blah, blah. Like, this shit was crazy. That's
very upsetting. Why would you tell me this story?
What do you think of that? Like,
I think the system is messed up. It's very unbelievable. I see now why you tell that story, because you find stories that are very hard to believe is true. It doesn't seem like it's a real story.
It doesn't. It really doesn't seem like when you like if you ever get the time, like, just if you're interested, like, just watch the interrogation, like, because during watching it, like, me, like, when I was like, he did it, like, he fucking killed her. Like, ain't no way in hell. Like, he fucking killed her. He just playing stupid. You know what I'm saying? He trying plead innocent by insanity and shit. You wasn't a year right. I'm like, yo, he playing his cards. And just when I seen, like, the revelation that the detective made, he was like when he was like, yo, he's like, come here. And he grabs his head and he's looking at him. He was like,
why did it take him that long?
His face was like,
why?
I fucked up. Like, I fucked up.
Oh my goodness, he got off real good.
It made so much sense because Ryan was like, he was asking him like small shit, like.
You could just tell something was off.
Yeah, but he thought like maybe he's intoxicated or under the influence of some type of drug or something. That shit's crazy.
He got shards in his brain. So he underwent surgery to get like his skull removed out of his brain.
And they had to take off like a quarter of his brain. They had to take it out, take his eyes out. So that was our segment, Throwback Thursday. That was the story of Heather Kwan and Ryan Waller.
I need a minute. That was a lot. That was a whole lot. I wasn't ready for that because I never read the stories on the script because I like to be surprised. Definitely surprised.
I know. I didn't know if you were gonna read it or not. That's why I stopped. I only left it at this, and I was like, I'm just gonna remember the rest of the story so that way I don't. Because the twist was so crazy. I didn't want to spoil it for you in case you did read it. I was like, I'm only gonna write the first half of it, but I'm not gonna put this part.
I wish you did. I wish I read it so I was prepared. I loved it though. Definitely doesn't seem real, but man.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an unbelievable story. Tap in the comment section and let us know what you think about the story of Heather Kwan and Ryan Waller. What do you think should happen to that detective? Like, that's a crazy. Like, I feel like it was kind of like negligent. Cause like, aren't you
a detective? It's your job to pick up on the details and put them together.
The problem is they were just way too overzealous. Like, from the moment they found Heather on the couch and saw Ryan there, like they automatically made him the suspect and they treated him as such.
Assuming?
Yeah, facts. Assuming? Like, so this next segment is the thick of the podcast.
We in the thick of it.
The bulk of it, the talk. And this week we got a really heavy topic for y'all.
Heavier than that story you just told?
That was light. That was light. Wait for the story I got for you next week.
Oh no.
You can get anxiety go act up next week. Oh my god, I found a story for Halloween that I can't wait to that story will be crazy, but so this week
you might be talking to a ghost on your next
This week for the talk, our topic is honesty.
Oh.
Honesty. And I feel like when we talk honesty, like, there's just such a big umbrella that goes with honesty.
Yes.
And it's like, where do you even start?
It's not a big umbrella, to be honest. It's just honesty. It ain't nothing to it, but
that's easier said than done. But when the last time you lied? Honestly, look, honestly, when's the last time you lied?
I can't think of it. Hold on. I'll be honest and tell you the last time I lied. But honestly, I can't think of a time. I do not lie. Well, I was thinking about lying to my job. I've been contemplating on it for a couple of weeks now to see if I can tell a lie to my job because I have a show. I have 2 shows coming up and they're not trying to get me off. So I'm trying to, but I don't feel right. Because you know what I realized? Like, anything you lie about comes back to you. No matter what. Like, you know how many car problems I've had because I lied about having car problems and it actually happened? I'm dead serious. It never fails. I used to lie. It got so bad that one time I was at UPS and I didn't want to come in. So I was like, oh, yeah, my brother's car, his tire popped, so I got to go help him. His tire was not, I don't even know where my brother was. Don't you know, I think it was a week later, his tire popped. And I had to go help him. I'm telling you, I don't believe in lying. Like, I don't remember when's the lie. The most I'll lie is to like a corporation, like a job. But friends, family, and sometimes it gets me in trouble because I do believe there's a such thing as being too honest, you know. But I can't do it. Like,
do you lie to yourself? Exactly. Miss, there's not too much to it.
Yes, I do sometimes. That's the only person I lie to.
It ain't too much to lying. Honesty is honesty.
I guess. Well, I still said what I said. I believe what I said. All right.
I said what I said.
I did say what I said. But
So, is there such thing as being too honest? And if it is, like, what's too honest? I've been told that I'm way too honest.
yeah, I think it's because it's how you. I don't think it's being too honest. It's how you say what you have to say. You know, I feel like there's a such thing as tact, you know, because not everybody's the same. Not everybody's like me and you. I like honesty. Give it to me blunt. Tell me to my face exactly what you mean. But a lot more people are a lot more sensitive, you know, than me and you. Or if people don't know you the way I know you, they might take it the wrong way. And it's not your fault because you're being
Not even
honest.
Not even that, though. I've been told I've been too honest in the sense of just telling people things that don't need to be said. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I have to get things off my chest. Mm-hmm. I've been told in that way that that's just too honest. You know what I'm saying?
I guess it depends when it comes to that on who you're with, because I struggle with that as well too. Because, you know, I feel like going back to zodiac signs, Aquarius is like, you guys like the intrigue, the mystery. So if I'm just honest and tell you about every single thing that happened during my day or every single feeling I have, like, there's nothing left for you guys to wonder about. So I've been thinking, like, is there such thing as being too honest in a relationship? Like, is there some things I should just keep to myself to add a little mystery, or is that just doing too much? You know?
It depends on what you keeping to yourself. Like, I don't give a fuck about what you ate today. You can keep that to yourself. But, like,
As far as things that might have an effect on a relationship.
what do you mean?
Like, I was just asking, is that what you mean? As far as certain things you keep to yourself and certain things you don't?
I don't keep anything to myself.
No.
I literally, I think that when people tell you that you should walk on eggshells, that's dishonest. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to water down how I feel.
Well,
you know
if you care about the person, you're going to take an account of how sensitive they are and how they move, you know, and it's a thin line between changing who you are and being tactful about it. Like, for example, I'm not going to talk to my little brother who's very sensitive the same way I'll talk to my sister who don't give a fuck and she got an attitude problem.
And
you know,
and I
no
understand
offense,
that, which is why I won't use cuss words. I won't be as aggressive. There's a difference between being assertive and being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being aggressive. I'm being assertive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's dishonest to, like, water. Oh, it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't have to do all that.
I feel this way, blah, blah. When really I wouldn't be like, yo, motherfucker, you was dead wrong, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that in a way, I feel like that's deceitful because you're leading that person to believe that it might not be that big of a deal.
Okay.
When to me, that shit means the world. But since I have to dumb down how I feel to you, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, to me, that's dishonest.
Right.
It's dishonest to myself and it's dishonest to the other person as well.
I mean, I can agree with that. I have nothing to combat that at all, but I would say we have to understand that everybody's not going to take it the way everybody else does, you know? Some people are just sensitive, and some people can't handle the truth. Some people can't handle being honest, you being blunt and assertive. And you have to just accept that if you're going to be honest and assertive and say what you need to say, you just got to be prepared for those who don't understand that. That's all. You know.
What else is the thing you think is too honest?
I don't think there's a such thing.
You don't think there's such thing as too honest?
If you ask anybody in my life that you know, that I know, honesty is my number one thing.
You don't think there's no such thing as being too honest?
Yes, I do. I do, because I feel like not every human is the same, you know? And I also feel like this is a hard subject, because you want to be, I feel like too honest, maybe not too honest, but it's just how you say it, you know?
I feel like being honest, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm a deceitful person, because I'm not. But just from experience, I feel like being too honest gets you hurt. You know what I'm saying? It gets you hurt. And so you don't think there's ever been a time where you were honest and you said something to somebody and you walked away like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. Like, damn, I said way too much.
Little things. Like, I would never feel that way about something I needed to get off my chest, even if I do overshare. But sometimes
overshare, I like that. I never heard that phrase being used.
Overshare? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I use it a lot because I do overshare a lot. Mm-hmm. Especially, you know, I overshare when I get nervous, or I overshare when I feel like I'm boring and I just have to talk. That's when I feel like I'm being too honest, because when I'm trying to fill in a space, when it's like an awkward silence and I just start rambling, I'm just like, fuck, what? Just shut up. You're saying too much. You're doing too much. You know, that's when I feel like there's such thing as too much honesty, you know. Mm-hmm. What about you? Do you feel like
I feel like being too honest gets your feelings hurt.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
And it's like, I think that there is such thing as just enough honesty. Not lying, but just not telling somebody just get putting now this is something that I need to work on myself, that I need to practice, you know what I'm saying? Just giving enough, that you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I just say way too much, you know what I'm saying? Do way too much. But there's such thing of kind of blanketing things, like.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you rather have someone not say barely anything at all, or to have somebody tell you everything?
I'd rather have somebody tell me everything. Everything. That's that. I'm literally a rip the Band-Aid kind of person. Like, that's just who I am. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, even if it's gonna hurt me, like, I will always respect you for letting me know, because that's what I need. You know what I'm saying?
I thrive off of honesty.
Me too. And the thing is, like, I can read conversations and I can read people. So I kind of feel like when you give me a half truth, or when you're halfway talking to me, what fucks me up is I'm such an anxious person and such an overthinker. I'm going to try to fill in those blanks myself, and
with
that's
the wrong words.
With the wrong, yeah, and that's what fucks me up. So I need 100% honesty, 100% transparency, because if you don't give me that, I'm going to go looking for that, and I'm going to force it
and create situations that aren't even there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I need, like, everything. I need the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So does honesty vary between people and situations?
I think so. Like, I think there's a time to lie. There are times to lie.
Like what? Give me an example.
When, like, with little kids, right? And let's say something happens, like grandma passed away. You're going to say, oh, you know, grandma's just not going to be with us for a while.
I wouldn't say that.
Not you personally, but, you know what I'm saying? Essential situations, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, things where like, you know, people, which is why I don't like it done to me. But with people that you feel like are less, like you said, like can't really handle the truth or more sensitive or something like that, you kind of, like I said, blanket things and give them bits of the truth.
Right. I think that's still being honest. To be honest,
but when they ask questions,
tactful.
if you're giving me bits of the truth, when I ask questions, those bits of the truth that you didn't want to tell me, you have to fill those in with lies.
No, you don't. Listen, if you ask me questions, you're going to get answers.
I'm not talking about you specifically, though. I'm talking in general, like people in general.
Sorry, cut that out.
Like, if you chose not to tell me something, you know what I'm saying? You chose to give me half of the truth. When I start asking questions or start inquiring more, not me specifically, but like this is just other people, like real life situations. When that person starts inquiring more, those bits that you didn't want to leave out, you have to start plugging those in with lies. That's just naturally like what happens.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think differently than a lot of other people. I really don't think there's any situation where you should lie. It happens, you know, like I said, especially in your professional career. That's the only time I think that would get a pass for me. Is it? I know it sounds bad, but I don't consider like my job important to me, you know. Like it's important money wise, but it's, I don't know. Let me stop before somebody start watching this. Okay, so tell me about a time where you got caught in a lie.
Oof, I hate getting caught in lies. I've only gotten caught in a lie, a big lie, like twice. And this was one when me and Alyssa first was going through certain things last year. I tried to make it seem like I just couldn't be in the relationship no more, like, you know what I'm saying, type shit. But the truth behind everything actually came out, and I was just like,
how did it feel after everything came out?
I felt like shit. Cause this is probably like, for the most part, I would like to say like I've always been like honest with her, but like this one time I kind of just didn't know like what to do, so I chose to lie, and then I got caught, and it just was like, oh fuck, this does not feel good.
Yeah, honestly, like the few times that I did lie or give half truths, they still haunt me to this day. Cause I'm big on karma, and I feel like anytime you tell a lie, it's gonna come back to you in some way, shape, or form. You know, it's gonna come back to you, and it's happened to me before a lot. You know, I think half the reasons like I got my heart broken is because I was the person that broke hearts in the past. You know, so that everything just comes back to you.
You was out here doing these niggas dirty. That's crazy.
Because I was lying, and then I had to lie to cover up another lie. I've never cheated before, but like when I felt like I was outgrowing a relationship, I would never tell the truth. I would just give an excuse as to why I'm leaving. Like I want to find myself, which was essentially true, but I just wasn't feeling the relationship anymore. So I sugarcoated it and gave a half truth, and it still haunts me. I don't like doing that, you know. So from that point on, like I was just honest, like listen, straight up, I'm not feeling this anymore. Like I feel like I'm outgrowing this relationship, but in the past I would just say anything and everything just to go, you know.
Right. So when it comes to your friends, how much truth do you have to give them?
I'm only friends with who I'm friends with because of their honesty. That's the number one thing I look for in a friendship is honesty. Like you don't hold anything back at all. And every other friend I have that's close to me, they are honest 100%. Now I don't know, you know, well I do know because my best friends are my best friends because they're honest. I can't see a time that they've ever lied to me. If they do, they're really good liars but we have
which
a
Aquarius are.
Don't tell me
we
that.
are really good liars.
Don't tell me that.
I've never lied to you.
Yeah,
I've never lied to you, but
you guys are good liars, but when it comes to people that you love, you don't do it. Like, you know, you don't see a reason to do it.
Well, quite the contrary. If it's somebody that we really, really love, the lie is we're going to make sure that lie is unsealable. I mean, unbreakable. It's sealed shut. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. For real? So you've lied to me before?
Not you personally, but I've lied to people I loved, and they still, to this day, don't know what the lie was.
I don't like the sound of that.
No, it's not like it's more of a protection thing because like I feel like Aquarius, we are natural protectors and shit. So like even though it's the wrong thing, it's on some like by any means I want to protect this person's feelings type
That doesn't
shit.
make sense because a lie always gets uncovered. I don't care what you say. It hasn't happened
Okay.
yet. It hasn't happened yet, but it will. Or maybe not to whoever you lied to, but with me, because that's something I live by, you cannot lie without it being uncovered.
I mean,
I'm telling you.
I respect that, but it's a thing.
It's not.
You might
Well,
not.
And I might. The thing is, I might not find out the lie, but that karma is gonna come back to you. If you tell me a lie to my face that's damaging to me or about me, the aura that I have, the protection that I have around me, it's gonna come back to you. It's like it bounces right off of me back to you. That's why I keep
Okay,
honest
rubber and
people around.
glue.
Rubber and glue. What? No.
You never heard that?
More like a shield of light. Like, try to fuck with me, I dare you. I'm gonna sit back and watch you get that karma. It gets really deep. It does, but
So I told you, see, when we opened it up, I was like the big umbrella of honesty. You was like, oh, honesty, ain't no big umbrella.
it does. Yeah, you're right. I take it back. It is
Like
a lot.
honestly, honesty gets really, really deep. So what I want to talk about now is integrity. A lot of people don't know the difference between honesty and integrity.
So explain it to me, because I think they go hand in hand.
They do go hand in hand, but integrity is being honest when there's no way that the other person will find out. That's integrity. Integrity is what you do behind closed doors.
When they're not in the room.
Right, when they're
That's
not in the room.
respect.
So it's kind of like integrity is
Your character.
So here's the bounds between integrity and honesty, right? Integrity is this. I go in the bathroom and I have $20 sitting on my studio. But it's wrapped in like thousands and thousands of dollars. I got $10,000 and a bundle of all 20s sitting on my studio. I go in the bathroom, you peel off $60. I'm not gonna notice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's $10,000 in 20s. That's integrity. Now, honesty is when I do notice and I ask you and you say, no, I didn't take it.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Bold-faced lie.
That's the difference between honesty and integrity. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people, maybe just the people I've come across, lack integrity. You can be an honest person and still lack integrity. You think you're honest because
You don't
when I
lie.
came to you about it, you said, yeah, I took it, I needed it, blah, blah, blah. You might feel better about yourself, like, oh yeah, I'm an honest person. I told him the truth. When no, nigga, like, if you had any ounce of integrity, you would have just left it alone, or you would have asked me about it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people, they try to, you know, like talk down on other people and this and this and this. When at the end of the day, like a lot of people like lack integrity. Like a lot of people do things behind closed doors, and that even goes with gossiping and talking about someone with other people. Because you know how you'll have somebody in a room, like let's say it's one of my friends is in a room with two other people that are talking shit on me. Now at the end, one thing I never trust when somebody comes back and tells me what somebody else said. Because you were in the room with them. I don't know what that conversation was. I'm almost positive you weren't defending me. You're probably laughing with them. You know what I'm saying?
That means that
That's
you
the way
have
I
to.
think.
I think that means you have to check your friendship,
But
because if they came back to talk to you about what they were talking about, that means they want you to know. That means they're trying to protect you. You know, you can't just assume that they were in there talking shit about you and then gonna go back. If so, you have to check that person, and is that really your friend? You know?
Yeah. I feel like me personally, if I was in that situation, I'm calling my peoples on the phone. Boo, 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 boo. All right, let's keep having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Now that the subject is present, let's keep having this conversation. Oh, ain't nobody got nothing to say? All right, I'm gonna call you later. Click. You know what I'm saying? That's a friend. That's integrity. Now I feel like when it's my name being dug up, you have the conversation. You're a part of the conversation. You wait till the conversation is finished and then bring it to my attention. Like, you let them get all their little pieces out, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit I be kind of feel like that's a half truth kind of shit. Like, why did you stay for that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, it's very situational, because that's nice to think about. But what if you're at an event, at a social event? You're not gonna just. Well, I probably would walk out the room if somebody was talking shit about.
if somebody was talking, it's happened. It's happened where somebody's talking shit about you at UPS, and I either check them You know what I'm saying? Or I'm walking away from the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I've done the same. I've definitely done the same. Just not, yeah, I've done both actually. Just roll my eyes like, oh, this is seriously what we're talking about.
no, I'm
Like,
not
all
rolling my
things.
eyes. I'm all in, say it to her face type shit. Like I'm like, you feel me? Like I feel like that's what integrity is. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, like, and one thing about me, like when shit like that happen, I won't even say nothing. Because what good is that? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where the messy parts come in. I did what I did. You feel me? Like I held my end of the bargain as far as I shut that shit completely down. You ain't gotta know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't for you. I didn't do it for you. You know what I mean? Not you specifically, but I'm just saying like in general, like when it comes to
that's
friendships
respect.
at
That's
all.
respect. That's definitely respect, especially if it's something that's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
that you're gonna think about. Even though I'm like, oh look, they said this about you, but I said this, and I'm like, nah. But you're gonna think about it. It might not affect you greatly, but you're gonna sit and you're gonna contemplate on it. And if you don't need to hear it, then you don't need to hear it. You know, I wish I was like that. I'd probably still go back and tell you just because I was angry. And I want to let you know that I defended you. But also, what I was gonna say, I feel like integrity goes hand in hand with your morals too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, real
your
talk.
moral compass is really a thing. Like how you move is based off of what you believe internally. You know, your morals. A lot of people don't have morals. A lot of people don't care about other people's feelings. You know, a lot of people don't consider everybody to be on the same level. They always put themselves at a higher pedestal, you know, on a higher pedestal than other people. So if your moralities are out of whack, nothing that you do is really gonna matter to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, for sure.
Yeah, big facts. I set them up because her best friend had a car. And I knew that if she came down here to see him, she would bring Lissa.
Oh my God.
And she lived in Bridgeton, so I wanted to see. It was so. Listen, that shit was methodical, dog. Like I put that shit together.
Listen, I want to see her by any means necessary.
Yeah. So and the thing is, I was taking the bus all the way out to Bridgeton. Remember, I was telling you, I would literally get on the bus. I would take the 402 to the transportation center, sit at the transportation center for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then take the 410 to Bridgeton.
Oh my God, just to see her. Now that's love. That's love.
Exactly, dog.
Oh
So
my
I was
God.
like, nah, I gotta play my motherfucking test pieces right. Hey, I got somebody for you. Tell you,
Bro, that's a lot of collateral damage. That's all I'm saying.
Facts, I ain't get no fucks. Tell your best friend my homie said what's good. Got them together, boom.
Oh my
I'm seeing my
God.
little boo boo every day.
Listen. At least you got something out of it. At least y'all still together. At least you got her. That's what I can say. It's a little reckless, but
I was using motherfuckers like a mother.
oh my God. I don't
Word
care.
up, man.
But at least you know.
I guess that wasn't honest either. Now that I'm thinking about it, that wasn't honest.
It was honest. I mean, at the end, it was honest.
No, I'm talking about like me using them.
It didn't show signs of integrity at all. You had no integrity.
I had integrity to
whatsoever.
myself and to my relationship. I was determined. Who wasn't in a relationship?
You.
I was in a relationship
Oh,
with
for
her.
real?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought
Me
this
and-
was you were like just trying to get her. Like
No, we were
beginning
together,
stages.
but we were still in high school.
Okay.
And her friend had graduated already, so she had a car. So I was like, and I was like, I would get off of school, like get off of school. No, actually, I was working at UPS because I started working at UPS my junior year of high school. I would get off of work on that Saturday morning, and then catch the bus at like 9 in the morning to the transportation center. And then
What you won't do?
I did that shit
do
for a whole.
love.
I did that shit for like a whole year.
You tried everything. Oh wow, that's dedication. That's very admirable. Ladies, get you a man who's gonna do things like that for you.
I ain't doing that shit for just anybody though. I knew that was mine. Everybody don't get that type of energy.
Not even your friends.
Nah. I travel to the corners of the earth for you too.
Oh, what do you think the world would be like if no one lied? If everybody, like, I think there's a
Chaotic.
movie, yeah, where you cannot lie no matter what.
Liar.
That's what the movie is. Yeah.
Well, the little boy wished that the dad could never. The dad was a lawyer, and the little boy, Jim Carrey, and the little boy wished that his dad could never tell a lie again, because his dad he would always be so busy. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take you to
Lie.
yeah," and it'd be a lie. So
You think it'd be chaotic?
so he couldn't tell no more lies. Yeah, I think the world would be chaotic because whether we like to believe it or not, sometimes lies are beneficial. Sometimes a lie is necessary.
I don't believe it.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes lies do shield people, like, and some people genuinely just can't handle the truth. Like,
But I feel like when you lie, you take away somebody's choice. You take away someone's choice to choose whether or not, take away their choice. You know, you don't give them an option on whether they want to continue or to not continue. You know,
what do you mean?
Relationships or friendships. Like, if you do something wrong and you're not honest about it, and you shield it to protect me, you know, not to hurt me, that's not fair. Because, you know what I'm saying? You can't just continue on and act like it never happened. I feel like your friends, your family, your partner deserves the right to know if you've done something. You know?
But every lie isn't that detrimental, though. You know
All
what
right,
I
so
mean?
give me an example of like a surface level lie that shields someone you love.
Someone like really insecure about their weight. I'm like, let's say you think you're getting fat. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm so fat. You know what I'm saying? You beating yourself up about it, blah, 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 blah. Or even like just things that I would notice. I would know, like, you don't look like you lost an ounce. But, like, I'll be like, yo, you look really nice today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look really good. To kind of, like...
Okay. I understand now. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like...
Especially, like, if I know, like, you're down about it and you're upset. Like, I genuinely like to see people happy. So I'll walk past you, like I said, like, and you don't look like you've lost the ounce at all. But I'll be like, yo, you look really good today. Like, I'm loving
wearing
it.
the same outfit from yesterday. You look amazing.
Yeah, like, I'm loving it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I don't think all lies are bad lies. I think that the world would definitely be chaotic because, like, just imagine, like, you talking and being in the middle of a sentence, somebody just be like, shut the fuck up, bro. You're still talking. You've been talking for... I know people want to say that to me. Bro, you're still talking? What the fuck? Like, you've been talking for 25 minutes about nothing. You didn't even get one point across.
How would you feel? And then you'd have to be honest right back, like, I'm just talking to you so you can leave me alone. I'm doing this on purpose. I don't even want to be here.
That, or I'll just be on some shit like, no, you're just too fucking stupid to get it. Like, so I think, like, I think the world would just be really chaotic without lies. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. I guess, you know, because we live in a world of duality where everything is balanced. You know, we don't have all good. You know, we don't have all light. We have light and dark, good and bad. So I feel like it makes sense that in this world that we live in, we need to have lies to go with honesty.
It balance it out.
I don't
Fibs.
like that word. Fibs.
Tails.
That's better.
So that's our segment to talk. Honestly, like...
Honestly.
Honestly, when it comes down to it, you got to be honest. Like, you have to be honest with the people you love. Be honest with yourself. Because I feel like that's the hardest person to be honest with is yourself. We lie to ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We even just like knowing you're in a bad headspace and trying to convince yourself that you're fine, that's lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it tears you up eventually.
Yeah.
Just try to be your most honest person. I really want you guys to tap in on this conversation because there's so many different views and different opinions on honesty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
want you guys to do something. So think about, as you go out through your day, keep track of how many lies you tell. Whether it's little white lies, whether it's, you know, lies that are really helpful, or if it's a big lie. Like, I want you guys to keep track of it for one day and just respond, just to see. I just want to see, you know, how many people are okay with little white lies, you know, on a daily basis.
Facts.
That's what I want to know.
This next segment, this last segment, SoundCloud Slept On. Now, y'all know I love to hear new artists, and this is actually an artist that she picked. I've never heard this song before.
Yeah.
I love to hear new artists. I love being put on to new artists. I love putting new artists on to other people. So now I'm interested in knowing what the fuck you be listening to.
So you know I'm gonna come with some different shit. So you gotta be prepared to hear something you've never heard before. As this girl from Philly named Marcia Blue. She's a young girl. She's younger than me, and her music is doing numbers. When I tell you, like, internationally, numbers. But I feel like locally she's a little slept on because her music is it's so different. You know, it's very inspirational, but I feel like she's so ahead of her time. But it's motivational, and you know me, I'm a sucker for motivational music. So yeah, I wanted to play a song of hers just because I know every song of every album of hers, and I feel like you guys should too. Because she's that dope. Her name's Marcia Blue. The song is called Change. It really helped me because I was going through a really tough time at this time, and when you find music that helps you relate to what you're going through, it's really healing. So even though it's a little sad, it's still awesome. Yeah, it's called Change. This album cover is fire though, look.
Let me see.
I mean, it's on SoundCloud, so you know it has to wait, but I don't know if you can see it.
Time and time I've been back here before. Don't need to whine about it. Why don't I just trust God instead of a misguided self? Ooh, I know who I am. I love my fam. I'm a woman, sacred and tall. Yeah, I got it all. Be right on the
She reminds me of Carly.
except when they leave.
Yeah, I think Carly listens to her too.
Guess Venus knows why I don't wanna try now. It's better I grow. It's better I grow. Moving, turning round in circles.
How old is she?
Warm, swirling.
she's 22.
Yeah, I was grilling for you, low key. You think you know me, but I be evolving like every day in every way. When I first met you, I thought you was cool. Then you left me, you then made me feel like I did not roll. But hold up, I gotta balance myself. How many pieces in the wealth is what I was told, and it's both. What it is, you are so wild. But I'm familiar with you.
But yeah, so this is a song. It's called Change. It's on SoundCloud. It's on every platform.
She has a
honestly.
beautiful voice.
Yeah.
A few things that I noticed that I wanted to touch on about the song is it's original. It's original.
Nobody sounds like her.
Nobody sounds like her, and I just am so grateful that you played that for me because, dog, like I've been like, I know how.
Repetition. You hear the same thing over again. Everybody sounds the same.
That's I didn't want to get back into the because y'all remember when I was at your house and every artist from Jersey is original.
No,
she didn't cuss. You feel me? Like she not talking, and I love female artists that don't talk about popping pussy, sucking dick, and all of that. Like I love female artists that are in tune with themselves. She mentioned God. A lot of people don't mention God in their music.
Right. It's such a transformational song because if you listen to it thoroughly, she starts off saying like she has to get rebalanced because she just went through this heartbreak. But the way she puts it is she's not upset about it. She knows she is upset about it, but she knows what she has to do to get back to being her highest self.
I love it.
It's so important. It changed my whole life. Like her album literally saved my life. On top of your song, Bad Guy, that one song, and then her whole album just really took me out of the worst moments I've had in my life. So when an artist does that, that's how you know that they're meant to be an artist. When you can inspire and save somebody's life like that, yeah, for sure. So
I love
shout out
it.
to Marcia Blue.
Yeah, what's her name? Marcia Blue.
Marcia.
Marcia Blue.
Marcia Blue. Yep.
All right, Marcia Blue. Make sure you come out to the next Good Vibes open mic.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to get her to come. She was in Africa for a while.
Plug us in. Like when the next time we get in the Good Vibes open mic? If you guys don't know, she actually hosts her own showcase for artists, and I would love for you guys to come out. It's a family friendly event, so don't come there talking about everybody you shot and killed.
We don't give a fuck. We don't.
And you're
honestly.
probably lying.
Yes, definitely lying.
But yeah, like so plug us in with Good Vibes. And I also wanted to know, like, how did you get into them?
Good vibes.
Yeah.
Actually, so, this was years ago. This was actually Taquan's idea, and he wanted to do like, it started off as like a little poetry session. So we were in this room and we had like little chairs in a circle, and like we would each get up and share some music or poetry. It was so small, but then more and more people wanted to start coming. So we're like, you know what? Let's make this a showcase. Let's make this an open mic. And what I love about it, it still has that, organic feel to it. Good Vibes Open Mic is not a showcase for these incredibly famous artists or well-known artists. Good Vibes is a place where you can come no matter what stage you are as an artist and express yourself. Even if this is your first time getting up on a mic, even if you're reading from your phone, even if you're bringing a band, it doesn't matter, where you are. We just want you to feel safe to express your music, because I've been to plenty of shows where I felt uncomfortable. They just made me feel uncomfortable, and I had to switch the energy of the room. I want to walk into an environment where I'm already feeling amazing, so my performance can be amazing, and that's what we offer at Good Vibes Open Mic. It is nonprofit, so we've been struggling with finding locations and stuff, but the more people that come out and support, the better we'll do as an open mic. How would you feel about hosting? Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, I host.
Yeah, and that way you can promote as much as you need to. That'd be dope. But yeah, we should have an open mic coming. I want to say November. We have to, where our team is coming together and planning it now. And we also like to keep it spaced out, because we realize if we have it every month, not as many people come. But when we leave some room for people to, want to come and give them some time, they show up. So
it's all in promotion. You can have it every month if you're promoting it right. And if you're promoting to different people.
I can't promote by myself,
Yeah, that's facts. That's definitely facts.
That's the thing. And also, I need quality artists. I'm sorry, but I need quality artists. That's all I'm going to say. I need artists who actually have substance in their music. You cannot come to my open mic talking about what everybody else talks about. I'm not going to say you can't, because it's you're here to express yourself. But I'm looking for artists who actually are passionate about what they talk about. That's what I'm looking for. So
yeah, this was a good episode, T.
Yeah,
this is a good episode. It was a really good episode. Like, I feel good about it.
Yeah,
I love you.
I love you too, man.
I love the podcast. I love all of you. And if you got this far in the podcast, I love you, and I love your mama for having you. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and share. Everybody that tunes in every time we drop, like, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I definitely got some merch for y'all specifically, because I do know this is my core fan base, and I always want to show love and give back to them.
Also, let us know topics that you want us to talk about. That's what I really want to know. Your core fan base, what do you want to hear more of? Give us some topics that you want us to talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
Please, 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 please like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on TikTok. And we will be streaming live on Twitch.
Ooh.
Twitch.
That's a big podcast, John.
Yeah. And I love it. And that's where I'm trying to build an audience there as well. So we'll be streaming live on Twitch. All social media, all platforms at 81 West Podcast, 81W Podcast. Please, please, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I also, like I said earlier, I know I'm talking a lot. And we going into like the second hour.
That's
I know
why
we is.
we here. We here because you talk a lot.
And I apologize, but I don't apologize because I'm not sorry. That's just my honesty. Listen, this episode, all you have to do is share this episode with 3 people. Even if you don't watch it, share it with 3 people. Screenshot it. Watch it though. Screenshot it. Send it to our Instagram, 81 West Podcast, 81W Podcast. And that's how you get a free shirt. If you want one of these joints and they fire, you feel me? Like, look at that. That's fire. You feel me?
I love it.
So, share it with 3 people. Send us the screenshot. Send us the proof. Get you some free merch. Peace.